Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I want to talk about the newest patch notes and also about some other things like my builds and Dragon Bones DLC and so on. So let's get started. First off, as you know, like when we look at the newest patch notes, there is some really cool things going on and ZeniMax is really listening to feedback. Now they put the synergy cooldown back to the original state, so basically 20 seconds. The synergy system really works better now, but on PTS there used to be a 30 seconds cooldown opposed to the 20 seconds cooldown on live. And it just felt kinda weird, and it seems a lot of people kinda said it's just not good because we don't have a lot of synergies available. That's the main issue. If there was like a huge variety of different synergies, I think 30-second cooldown would be okay. But there is just like 2 to 3 synergies and that's it, and that was the main problem. I think they kind of realized this, and I do hope maybe with the new expansion that we will get like mid-June or something like that, that we might see some more synergies or like new synergies added to the game. Another thing was the off-balance changes. So now it says adjusted the length of time bosses are immune to the off-balance debuff to 15 seconds, previously 15 to 20 seconds. And off-balance is applied to the target for 5 seconds. Before it used to be 4 seconds, and basically what ZeniMax tries to do is that we do heavy attacks. They want us to do light attack builds, but they want us to restore twice the amount of resources with heavy attacks on off-balanced enemies. Now, I really do not like this for a few reasons. In dungeons, it actually might be nice because you actually can focus on the cooldown. In trials, 5 seconds are gone so fast, there is so much incoming damage, movement going on, etc. You barely will have time to react to it, and that will be the biggest issue. On top of that, I'm also pretty sure it will put console into another disadvantage on top of the FPS issues and no add-ons, because I'm pretty sure you actually can track the off-balance cooldown on PC, thus making it a lot easier to predict when it actually will happen. Console will not have that choice. So I really do not like this weird change, but we will see how it turns out. Another thing, I actually do like that we don't have that much off-balanced on the boss anymore. I just don't like how they implemented it. Another thing is, we all know when you actually do a heavy attack on an off-balanced enemy, your heavy attacks do like 60 to 70% more damage. That's also why heavy attack builds were kinda popular. Now, with like less off-balance on the target, you will not see that huge damage from heavy attacks anymore. So yeah, that's one thing I like. It will make light attack builds more competitive. Another thing to mention maybe the exploiter passive, basically increasing your damage done on off-balanced enemies by 10%. Now, we probably might not see that much anymore. Stem setups, yes, because they have a lot of points in here anyway, but probably not from Magicka setups, which is not a bad thing. It was never 10% increased damage anyway, because now you can like distribute your CP way more into like Master at Arms or Staff Expert. You will maybe only put like 50 to 60 points into Thaumaturge instead of 75 to 81. So you will not lose 10% damage. Not at all, actually. So yeah, we will see. I still kinda hope they will change it around a little bit more. It's still PTS. It's like, we still don't know when Dragon Bones will go live. So yeah, that's the thing. Then the last thing, now in the game, Skill Advisor. And a lot of people have been asking me, why do you put like Sorc Tank, Sorc Healer on my website, not the meta builds? yeah, that's kind of the point. Now, ZeniMax introduced the skill advisor, and I actually really do like this. I mean, the builds are nothing exceptional, but I do think it will help new players to be guided better, and it will increase the quality of LFG, like Dungeon Finder groups, by a lot. Most people, like the biggest complaints are always when you're a newer player, or like people, the LFG Dungeon Finder, that people just don't have any clue what they're doing. Like you see bow tank builds and all that kind of weird stuff. With the skill advisor, this will happen less, because people actually have to choose or can choose a setup, then kind of get recommendations on what to run. So for people that are new to Elder Scrolls, it's like, oh, you're a damage dealer, you should maybe use double destruction stuff on a magic, or oh, you're a tank, so use sword and board. That kind of helps people to set up their builds. That's also the reason why I now want to put all those setups on my website, because I'm pretty sure people will be looking for it more, and the quality will definitely be higher than when they actually go into this skill advisor. But the skill advisor is definitely here. People will think more about their class, about their setup. So it will definitely increase the overall quality, especially for newer players, or also just players in general. Then same thing with the level up. What do you say, advice? I don't know, level up. Gifts you become, stuff like that. Because sometimes there is people that are max CP, they don't even know buff food exists. That's no joke. There's people that don't know that you can weapon swap. So that will also take care, because like at level 15 you will get the reward with a second weapon. They will tell you, oh, now you have access to 2 bars, so you can swap around. Same thing with buff food. You actually will get buff food from leveling up. They say, okay, use buff food now, so you actually increase health, so people know that stuff exists. So just in general, those things are very nice quality of life improvements. The new builds that I have on my website, like Sorg Tank, I mostly want people to use them in dungeons for now, because you could probably use them in trials, but like DK tanks, Templar healers are still the best choice because of a few things. Like DK just simply have like the best resource management, highest damage mitigation and all that kind of stuff in trials, so that's why they're so much better than other setups. Same with Templar healers, Breath of Life is just so strong. All those new builds on my website probably also work in trials, but I don't want to be responsible. Alcast said it works in trials, so I will run this now. In the end, it's up to raid leaders how they kinda compose their setup for trials. But I also want to give people more options to run dungeons. And we all know the more common those setups are, the more fury crafting will happen, and maybe some people will come up with some really nice builds. And there has, like, I know there has been people completing like Halls of Fabrication hard modes with Templar tanks, Zork tanks. It's possible, okay? But then usually it's just people that choose to run setups like this are also more like less experienced, because they're newer to the game, they want to explore and they don't care about the meta setups. So yeah, just that as a heads up. But I kinda say in the description of the build that this is set up to be a dungeon build, only for dungeons. And with the others, like a DK tank, I mentioned dungeon and trials, so people see the difference if they read the stuff. I will also do build videos for those new builds to actually kinda explain the ideas behind the setups, because if you don't understand the idea behind the build, it's pretty hard to actually succeed and understand. Maybe be it resources or whatever. Just that in general, and keep in mind, those are builds. They should kind of function as a base, and you should always adjust the builds to your needs. Nobody has the same playstyle. Okay, that's more or less it. I guess I talked enough. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know in the comment section below. Make sure to not forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching and have a nice day. Cheers.